Joining me today is author LJ Vanterra. She's here today to talk about her book, Beyond the Wall. Welcome, LJ.
Well, thank you very much, Christine.
Congratulations on your book.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, and how does it feel to be published?
Well, it feels a bit surreal. There's lots of things you can do in life and never think that you can't. If you want to try something, give it a try.
Well, you did it, and congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us about the book.
Well, the setting is future Earth. And Earth, the planet Earth, has been colonized by inhabitants from another planet. And human beings are essentially turned into farm animals. So that's the grand setting, but the micro setting takes place in a compound. A compound where humans live, and most of the inhabitants have never been outside in the real world. All they know is their compound. There are some inhabitants within the compound that lived in the outside world before colonization took place. They're known as the originals. So it makes for a very interesting setting.
Yes, indeed. And it's such an imagination. So what was the inspiration behind the book?
Well, I wanted to nudge readers to reflect on, how they treat other beings, whether it's other human beings or non-humans. So I think the book itself gently provokes people to give that some thought. Yeah. And I had some further inspiration. I was once in Savannah, Georgia, and just happened upon an open house they were having. And I was intrigued by this film I saw called Inverso Mundus, World Upside Down. So the social norms as we know them are turned upside down. So, for example, you would see a scene of a human carrying a donkey on its back, yes, or a pig in an apron butchering a human. So there are these surreal scenes all done with a soundtrack of classical music. So I was just seeing these images. And I think the film certainly had an impact on me, because you think about social roles and it just all seems normal to us. But if you suddenly were to inverse them, it's startling, right? So,
it makes you think.
It makes you think, yeah.
Yes.
But, the book isn't all deep and heavy. And actually, it's also a very thrilling, suspenseful, mysterious, riveting novel. So it's an interesting story with several layers. So if a person just wants to read it for an interesting novel, they certainly would get a thrill out of it, I think. But there are these subtle layers that nudge the reader to think about life and how we treat other life.
It offers to the readers a little suspense, science fiction, and hope.
Hope, absolutely hope. Because, in our world today, full of, frankly, misery, that we read about on the news and read about lives that other people are having, but there's always hope. So in this story as well, I mean, the setting, if I was to explain the setting, it's a setting of despair, but it's also a group living in this compound. It's a community. There are moments of joy and laughter. Then there's collaboration, thinking of a way to escape, and then the planning and the resilience and the drive. And don't want to give the whole story away, but ultimately, very happy ending.
Yes.
So, just like life, this story, the environment is not the best, but as the story shows, you can be in an environment that you think, well, how will I ever get out of this environment? How did I get this lot in life? I don't see any change for the future, but the story clearly shows that there's always hope.
Yes.
And there's always the possibility of change in the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you have hope, you have the faith and the belief in yourself that you can do it.
Yes.
And that's where. So, what was the process like?
Well, as you know, this was my first novel.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Again.
And I mean, I've always written throughout my life, always poems or songs or things like that, but I never thought I would write a novel. And I thought, well, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but wouldn't it be fun to just to write the first page?
Keep going.
So I wrote the first page, and then another, and then I had a chapter, and then Christine, it was very strange, but it just came to me.
Was it therapeutic?
Yes, it was. It was like I looked forward to just delving into this and crafting it, and I enjoyed the editing, the rewriting, rethinking. Could I write that sentence better? Could I write that paragraph better? And I never knew that I would enjoy that so much.
Yeah. I mean, what about the characters? I mean, how did you develop the characters? Like the Edna, I believe, she's empowering, I believe.
Yeah, just like any community of individuals, each character is different. Some more vocal than others, some seemingly stronger than others, and others who have a quieter strength. So quite a variety of characters in the novel, just like in the real world.
Yes. Is some of your characteristics you use in the book, some of it? Characteristics that you have?
Yes. I did. I mean, I guess one of the characters in particular, I wouldn't say she's exactly me, but yeah, her voice is my voice, definitely. Yeah.
No, I mean, it is a book that, the reviews are great. And I want to ask you the feedback without me saying, I know Canada, United Kingdom, India.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel about the feedback?
Well, pretty good. It was a little bit frightening at first, even before it was published, putting it out there. You just feel so vulnerable. And I hear this from other writers too. You put your heart and soul into the story, but also this story is a little bit out there, right? So I thought, ooh, how are people gonna react to this setting? And So I gently brought the book out at first. I had a couple of beta readers that were acquaintances, and I asked them if they were willing to read it and to give me their thoughts, and they enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
So then I thought, phew, okay, and then I would branch out a little bit further to people I knew, and the further I branched out and had people read it and the more positive responses I was getting, I just let lots of people read it.
And was this year, what year was this when you started?
Well, I started writing, I think it was 2019.
2019, okay.
But the more challenging part is not the writing, but after you get it done, it's like, okay, what am I going to do with this? You know, okay, this was an interesting experiment. Now I'm done and on to other things in my life. But I thought, well, I went through all the trouble of writing this.
Why not?
Why not
Yeah.
share it, right? So I did that. I got it published. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
And it's on Amazon. So.
Yes, it's on Amazon, and I'm actually going through a republishing phase as we speak. So it's the first one was just sort of an experiment. It's on Amazon and Goodreads, but I'm going through with another publisher to expand that, get it republished, new cover design, and expand it a little further.
That's wonderful. LJ, what is the message that you want readers to take away from your book?
Well, on the one hand, I just want them to read the story and enjoy it as a story, right? So I'm hoping they find it intriguing, good storyline. Hope they enjoy it. I hope they read it cover to cover and and enjoy it. On the other hand, if to them it is thought-provoking and makes them think about, you know, our world,
Yes.
our society, how we would like to be treated, how we treat other people. If that happens, that's great.
That's great. And I have to ask you, will there be a sequel?
Well, at this point, I'm saying no. I mean, never say never, but no, I think I'll stick with this one for now and hope more people read it first, and then we'll see.
Well, it has a happy ending.
It does, yeah. I mean, I have an idea for another book, but I'm just keeping that
Stay tuned.
in my back pocket. It would actually be the same story, but from another character's point of view.
LJ, if people want to copy the book, where can they go?
Well, they can check my website, ljvanterra.com, and it has information about where they can buy the book. Right now, you can just buy it online, but I am in conversation with some independent bookstores. I won't name them yet because it's not finalized, but I'm hoping to reach some deals with some independent bookstores in Vancouver, so we'll see. But for now, ljvanterra.com.
Awesome. And then there'll be the awards.
Oh, you're living in a dream world, as one of the characters says in the book.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Well, thank you, Christine.